What's up, everybody? Welcome to Crossright Homestead. Let's check in on the cows this morning.
Morning, Rocky Top. Good morning, Rosie. You ready for some food bowl? Be careful, buddy. Don't touch the fence.
Today, to get our plants started, I got a bunch of seeds and I'm gonna put them in these little tiny biodegradable pots and get them growing in the house before it gets, planting weather. Because right now it's just a little bit too chilly at night and too chilly early in the morning, and we still have chances of frost. So I'm gonna go ahead and just plant them in these little tiny pots and then see what happens. I've never done this before. A lot of people have. They get seeds and they start them in the house. I've not done that yet, so I'm gonna see if it works. We hope you've been enjoying our videos so far. We've had a lot of variety of things. Steve's done a lot of cooking, ribs, pork butts. What was the last thing? Chicken. The chicken was really delicious. So I went to the store and I got me a bag of Miracle-Gro, and I'm gonna fill these little pots with Miracle-Gro, and then I'm gonna put my seeds down in it. And as the weeks go on and however it changes, I'll keep you informed of how it's going, and we'll see if this does work. It's a little bit messy. That's why we're doing it outside. I wouldn't want to be doing this in the house. Here I can just, when I finish, I can just rake it off out in the yard. And it's just so beautiful out today. I'm just trying to stay outside as much as I can, soak up all the sun. They say we've got a few more days of some 39-degree weather coming, so I don't like hearing that. I'm done with winter. I don't know where you folks live, but up here in the north, by about February, we're done with winter. We're ready for some spring weather, and today is just gorgeous. I mean, it's not windy. We've had a lot of wind, and to not have any wind today just feels wonderful. I think I have a lot more seeds than I do these little cups, but that's okay because I also have a lot of these egg cartons, and I'm gonna use these in the same way I'm using these little cups here. Okay, so to start out with, I've got all my cups filled. I'm just gonna grab them by the bag, and this one here says coneflower, so I'm going to try these first, which is very interesting. They're purple. So I'm going to just take one at a time, and I saw this one fall down in there. And I'm going to stick it down inside there. So I'm going to poke a little hole with my finger, and drop a seed down in it, cover it back over. I'm going to do that with every one of them. So that one's gotten one in it. Obviously, you don't want to see all this. But
What if you put more than one in each pot?
I don't know. Would that be wasteful?
Or beautiful. I don't know if it works or not.
So I think I'm going to just make all of these into my purple coneflowers, and we'll see how they come out. Okay, folks, so I got all of the purple coneflowers in these little containers here. So I got me a little jug of water, and I'm gonna just get all these a little bit wet. And then I'll have them in a warm, dry place, or maybe even in a moist place. In my laundry room, All right, so we have those purple cone flowers in those containers there, and we'll keep an eye on them. I'll keep you updated on how they're growing. We'll probably just move on to our next one, and since I'm out of those now, I'm gonna move on to these egg cartons. So I won't need the top half of this egg carton, so I'm gonna cut it off. I mean, I don't have to do this, but I just want to make it look a little better, I guess. Anyhow, then I'm going to discard that. And then I'll go through and I'll fill this up with dirt. Folks may have a better way of doing this. If so, hit me up on YouTube and let me know what you do to make yours grow better or turn out better. Like I said, I'm kind of new at this. And if it works good and I get the results I want, then I will probably do this with more kinds of plants instead of just flowers. Everything out there is just getting more expensive. So any way to save money I'm interested in. Okay, so we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to these poppies. I've always wanted to grow poppies. I think they're a beautiful flower. My mother-in-law has them in her yard, but I've just never had any luck with it. So I'm going to try it this way. I know that these seeds are super tiny. I have seen them before. I knew they were going to be tiny, and they are. They're really tiny. So I'll save some of those for my daughter. I think I'm gonna put a little bit more dirt on top of those because they just didn't seem like they sunk down in there very far. I love flowers, but I tell you what, they are very expensive when you go and buy them at the stores. They're just, I mean, that's just not where I want to put my money. All right, so I'll set these over here out of the way in the sun. Okay, so I realized I don't want to forget what I have in these containers. So I know that those little round ones are going to be those coneflowers, and then the ones I just did were the poppies, and these are going to be snapdragons. So I wrote it on the container so I can kind of keep an eye on what I got, or I'll just forget about whatever I have. And I think you get a lot more satisfaction when you grow it yourself also. Okay, so these are the snapdragons. And these seeds are super tiny. Now we have just went to like almost like dust. That's just so amazing that this is a flower. Talk about putting more than one in at a time now. I know I'm putting in at least 3 or 4 at a time on this. I mean, this is going to be amazing if something actually grows from these. Because to me, it looks like dirt. Like I bought a bag of dirt for $2. I'm going to cover that over with some more dirt. And then I'll put a little bit of water on that and let it get soaked down in there. See, life doesn't have to be rush, hustle and bustle. You can have a lot of joy just doing really relaxing things like planting. These sunflowers, boy, they don't give you very many of these seeds. I mean, they give you like just 12, that's it. And this is one of my favorite flowers, so I'm really like disappointed about that. I wish they would have gave me a whole bunch. But that's okay. Just wanted to show you these seeds before I stick them in here. And you're gonna see these are not like gonna be hard to miss. Some of them little tiny ones that I had a while ago, you couldn't tell what you were putting in if it was dirt or where it was. But these, you know exactly where you stick it. Go ahead and cover it on up with some more dirt. Then I'll water it. It's gonna be a long process, folks, before we see the results of the plants, but I'm patient. So
So one project today we're going to do is we're going to build some cages to go around our blueberry bushes, because we've planted those. They're about 3 years old, but every summer and spring the rabbits eat them down to just almost nothing. So we've only gotten a handful of blueberries from those plants because the rabbits are just tearing them up. So we're going to go ahead and make a little cage to go around each one of those. We'll show you how we do that. So we want it to be about what, 12-inch circle?
Yeah.
So if we're going by that, we want to take however big the diameter across is times 3.14. That's going to give you a circle. So if you want 12 inches, we're going to go 3.14 feet.
Sorry about the wind, it picked up.
So these are little rings. These are pliers to specially bend to wrap around the wire like this, and then it'll hold it together. So that's our plan. We'll see if it works. One more at the bottom.
Yeah. I think this will keep the rabbits out.
Should. Okay.
Alright, so let's go test it and see.
Okay. So here's one of our blueberry bushes, and as you can see, the rabbits have eaten every little stem off of it. So we're going to just put this over here, put a stake in the ground to hold it, and that'll just keep the rabbits from getting to it till it can get a little bit bigger. Just enough to hold it down so the rabbits don't knock it over.
All right, so he made me 4 baskets for my blueberries. I have just one more blueberry bush that will need to be wrapped. But I think we're gonna have a lot less trouble with the rabbits having these baskets on my blueberry bushes.
We got rabbits everywhere today. These rabbits are just waiting on us to plant the garden.
So we got all the gardens tilled up today. We are now ready to do some planting. We went to the store yesterday and we got us some vegetables like tomatoes and peppers. We got to put our potatoes in the ground. But this is nice to have done. And now the ground will dry out some more and we'll get everything planted. Well, we're always told that you're supposed to plant your potatoes on Good Friday. Well, we're a day late, but today we're going to get our potatoes in the ground. We're going to plant them with the eye up. All right, so we're going to plant our potatoes with the eye up, and we're going to plant them 12 inches apart, 4 inches deep. Might as well just get to it.
row.
How do you know if they're...
There's two different potatoes.
I know. The red one's for... You know, the funny thing is, folks, I've been planting potatoes since I was, since I could walk. I was born in Arkansas, and my dad was he just loved potatoes, and every summer he'd just have all 5 of his kids out there in the field planting potatoes. And I thought for sure when I got older, I'd just buy them at the store and say heck with all that, but, you know, I'm finding some joy in it now. Now we gotta go.
The easy way to remember how to plant potatoes is eye to the sky. Eye to the sky.
Well, folks, we got this big tree on our property, and it's right over our barn and our garden. And it's got this split in the center that seems to be getting wider and wider apart every year.
Terrible hammer. Okay, so Mary thinks this tree's splitting apart, which it obviously is. And we're afraid as it gets leaves on it that this is going to fall over on our garage, and that this part could fall potentially on our cow fence. So what we're going to do is measure it a little bit each week or day or month and see how much it moves. So our starting point is between the two, 7.5 inches. 7.5 inches. So we'll see how much this thing splits apart as this tree gets leaves on it.
Thanks for watching. See you on our next episode. Make sure to like and subscribe.